there's two. The cotton is like a what I call like a kite string. It's multi-filament kite string, cotton kite string, and that's kind of like the fibers inside the cotton. And so that when you dye that, it's actually absorbing all the dye. It's a reactive dye product, and when you do it with a polyester and nylon, it's actually like a fishing string. It's a polyester fishing string, and it's coated on the outside and dyed with the polyester dyes. You got the kite string, which is a multi-filament cotton kind of fibers, and it actually absorbs all the dyes. But with a polyester, it's kind of like a fishing string. It's a polyester thread that is coated with the polyester, and they cure that around 300 and 320 degrees, the same temperature that we're actually curing our inks at. So when we get to that temperature, we're kind of unleashing that genie again. And we want to keep a cap on that bottle and not release that dye. But sometimes we have to because of the quality of the dyeing that the fabrics are coming in. They're coming from all over the world. We can't control what they're coming from, and that's why we have to test our fabrics. And I can show you a little later how we test for that. But again, you never know. Different dye lots come. You can do the same shirt over and over and over again. It's from the same company, and all of a sudden they change manufacturer. You get a different fabric, and they don't tell you that, and you just all of a sudden that same shirt, the same ink, same bucket, everything you've done, the technique is the same, but all of a sudden it's bleeding, and you don't know why. So we try to have you guys test every fabric you get in, so you can prevent from having that call back and that dreaded call. You know, I'm sure everybody in this room has got that call. If you're screen printing at any time, you realize that call is like, oh, come on in, let me see it. You know, it's either ink came off or it bleeds. That's the two dreaded calls, right? Again, okay, so we have our flash. We want to make sure 180, cure at 320, cookie in the cake. Time is your best friend. I can't stress it enough. You got the tools. You got different squeegee durometers they're measured in. You got all the different threads and meshes. You got a good piece of film. You've got a good exposure unit. I'm actually writing a blog right now about the 10 things you do to be a successful printer, and it starts with these things. I mean, you got to have a piece of good film. You got to have a quality ink. You have to have a right choice of mesh, the right type of emulsion, exposed correctly. And you all know how to. If you don't know how to expose or test for the proper exposure, ask your supplier. They'll be able to teach you and show you how to make sure you're properly exposing a screen. If you have a scum on the inside where the ink goes, and when you're washing it out and there's a scum in the blocked out areas of emulsion and you come on your finger, you're underexposing that, okay? If you got a lot of pinholes, you got a dirty piece of glass, you got a dirty piece of film, not enough emulsion or not proper exposed. You shouldn't have pinholes. It's big factories. He worked at a factory, 32 automatics. Okay, I walk into factories, they've got 20, 30 automatics and they print 4 million shirts a month. They can't have pinholes. If you have pinholes, something's wrong. Go to your distributor, talk to your emulsion manufacturer, fix the problem. Don't work so hard. It's not that hard, okay? If you don't have opaque film like these are, talk to your distributor. Make sure you have opaque film. It shouldn't be this difficult, okay? If your ink's cracking or whatever, you're doing something wrong, okay? There's not enough emulsion or it's not enough heat or you're not enough deposit. If you don't feel enough emulsion on your screen right here, you want to feel a bump there. That's not, if you don't, there's not enough emulsion on it. You're going to have premature breakdown. It's just going to happen. Guarantee it. These shops with 30 automatics, they can't afford to have these problems. I described it to somebody yesterday, and that's a great analogy. If you had a printing press in your garage that printed dollar bills, how many people here would let it run out of paper? Okay, how many people here would let it run out of ink? Okay, so I agree with you. I got one at home, it's still running. I got a little Oompa Loompas keeping it going. But same thing's going on here. The more that machine spins, the more money you're making. Anything preventing you from doing that is preventing you from making money. And I, for one, will try to do anything I can at almost any cost to keep it running and spinning. And when these guys have 30 automatics, I guarantee you they're doing everything they can to keep it spinning. When you're doing, let's say they're doing 14 shirts a minute, okay, 14 shirts a minute up to 18 colors, and they have to stop because of a pinhole. How much is that costing them at 50 cents a piece? $7 for that one stop.
Just the labor?
Just to stop. It costs them $7 that they're losing in income. Times how many machines? it costs them tens of thousands of dollars a day to have a bad emulsion exposure problem in their factory.
We had the last company I worked for, we had factored that each the machine, the 32 automatics, it cost about $175 an hour for the labor, the energy, just to have the machine there. So if that machine wasn't running, it's $175 an hour in the home.
So their
You're
overhead
paying
was
people to stand-
$175.
Yeah, $175 per machine per hour. So that's a lot of money, like you said. That's tens of thousands of dollars if that thing's not running.
Right. So, you know, I'm a pet peeve of that because I ran production, 9 automatics, and you'd have one guy sitting there. I didn't want my operator stopping and getting his finger dirty by getting anywhere near that ink, because guess what? He's going to go back and start loading 10 shirts before he finds out that he has some ink on his finger or underneath his nails. I had one guy sitting there. He would watch the quality. If anything arose, he'd go over to the machine and then stop it instantly, and it would be like a 10-second stop instead of the 5 minutes and the problem, the damaged shirts. Okay, so I really can't stress enough. If you imagine that being a printing press, printing dollar bills in your backyard or in your garage, it's gotta keep running. Don't let it run out of ink. Don't let it run out of paper. And what I'm saying is, make sure you got quality screens, quality mesh, quality everything. Don't skimp on that stuff because it's costing you money and somewhere down the line.